Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Seed of Chucky, Fear, the Second Coming.
Written and directed by Don Mancini, starring Brad Dourif, Jennifer Tilly, Redman, and Pippin himself from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Billy Boyd as Glen. Chucky and Tiffany both exist in the real world alongside Jennifer Tilly, who is playing the real life version of Tiffany in a movie about Chucky. In any case, Chucky and Tiffany had a son or daughter, Glen/Glenda, however way you look at it, and they're just doing their best to not be serial killers for the sake of their son or daughter. So what do we like? I like the fact that this movie is the most self-aware in the entire franchise, because it is absolutely ridiculous. It pokes fun at itself so many times that you can't take this seriously and you just have to laugh at it.
Jennifer Tilly is playing me in a movie. It's absolutely perfect casting.
But that voice!
I know. She sounds just like an angel.
It's basically breaking the fourth wall without breaking the fourth wall. And I love the humor that's in it. I think that Chucky is very entertaining in this film because he's just battling with parenthood.
Seeing the struggle of family and like trying not to kill people is hilarious. And it's just so suitable for Chucky as a character because we all know him. We've seen 4 movies previous to this of him just killing people. So to see him like deal with just like relationship issues is funny as fuck.
What the hell is going on in here?
She came on to me.
I absolutely loved that Jennifer Tilly had like a prominent role in 2 different roles in this movie. You have real her and you have Tiffany. It's also great to just like see Jennifer Tilly because she is, like I've said a million times before, my favorite woman. And the fact that they even mentioned the Gina Gershon Bound scene, oh my god, that was great.
I can still hear you screaming!
It's just, well, Bound is on cable. Gina Gershon is fingering me.
And for all of you people out there, there is some nudity in this movie.
I really enjoyed Billy Boyd as the voice of Glen and Glenda.
Am I going to be a killer?
Of course, it's been a family tradition for generations.
But violence is bad, isn't it? They said so on TV.
It just had this whole innocent feel to it, but at the same time, he was really crazy when he broke down. And when he flips back and forth between Glen and Glenda, you could just tell the struggle that he's facing between which gender he wants to be. Regardless, I think Billy Boyd nailed this voice. And the same could be said with Brad Dourif. I mean, he kills it every time.
It looks like the kid fell off the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down.
He is Chucky, and I mean, we all love Chucky. You're gonna like him in this one.
During this film, there was a moment I just turned to Jay when Chucky's trying to be a parent. I'm just sitting here thinking of Fiona. What would it be like if Brad Dourif is lecturing you? Like, how serious can you take it?
It was also nice to have like Redman in this. I don't know what he was doing back then. He probably just coming off of like the Red and Meth show. And How High must have come out probably a couple years before this one. So to have him in this was pretty funny. He played his regular self. But a shock was Hannah from S Club 7. I recognized her immediately because I watched that show like to death. Well, Chucky probably has one of the smaller body counts in this movie. I think that the gore that we do see was great. Specifically, like one of the first ones we see is like a sweet decapitation when Tiffany and Chucky are bonding over killing this poor sap who just wants to grab some puppets. It was beautiful.
Yeah, the practical effects in this movie were very well done. Like when we're getting a face melt, which is John Waters, perfect pencil thin mustache and all, just melting away. And like there's people getting slashed, like all the practical effects in this film just looked great.
The same can be said for the actual animatronics and the puppets. I thought like the facial expressions on all of the puppets looked great because this movie strangely is more like dialogue driven for a Child's Play film between the puppets, which is strange. So like There's emotional scenes where Glen is crying. And you can really see the mother in Tiffany as she's like really embracing Glenda while she's trying to identify with a gender. And even touching on this back in 2004 where they're actually like dealing with non-binary kind of gender issues. And so it's surprising watching it now in 2017 and seeing it all come to light today.
Sometimes I feel like a boy. Sometimes I feel like a girl. Can't I be both?
I also really enjoyed the cinematography in this film. I really like when they show the POV shots of the dolls going to kill someone because it looks funny, but it also makes the film more intense. Like it opens up with a great POV shot of a doll walking through a house planning to kill someone, and you don't know which doll it is. And I like the mystery behind that. And then later on, we get the classic shots of the feet running, like all the low angle shots. Like the cinematography in this film is really good for capturing these tense moments when, whether it's Tiffany or Chucky going to kill someone.
The score was really good as well by Pino Donaggio. It was very classic Child's Play. It had the suspense and it helped drive all of the different situations, but it also had like the upbeat moments when things are a little more comical. Now let's move on to our dislikes.
My biggest dislike in this film is the lack of kills. I get where they were going with this one, but still you kind of expect to have more death scenes in this. And what you did see was fantastic. It's just, I would have enjoyed a little fodder.
I wasn't really taken back by it, but I would always encourage it. This isn't a dislike for the movie, but it's just a little nitpicky. I didn't really get why the driver had to have a crush on Jennifer Tilly. Like they kissed each other, he would constantly rub her leg, yet he was really nervous to talk to her or like to say that he loved her. Which seemed really weird because they weren't dating, they had never slept together, but why were they kissing and stuff? Maybe I'm just jealous of... I want to drive Jennifer Tilly around and rub her thighs.
But if you're a Redman...
If you're a Redman, you get to... he motorboated.
Yep.
Oh, so jealous. This movie's old enough, I'm gonna spoil the ending because I want to talk about it for a second. I don't know if I was happy with it. Well, I did like that Tiffany is now a human. I don't know that I like that Glenda has split personalities into two people. Because if that was one person dealing with struggles, like how can it be two souls?
Yeah.
Almost. Like it doesn't really make sense to me because it's almost as if, like if I was schizophrenic, could I have 50 babies? Like 50 me's running around eventually? I don't think they...
Man.
Well, yeah, I'd be Jamie Madrox. I don't think a personality trait should be split. I think like souls can be split. I don't know why we're getting this deep on this situation. I don't quite get how it all works, but I don't think it should have worked out this way. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Seed of Chucky, well at the time, I didn't really appreciate it. Now I actually had a really fun time with it. It's funny, it's self-aware, it was way different from some of the other entries in the series, but I had a blast with it. Like Redman and Jennifer Tilly did a great job. Brad Dourif is the guy that you want him to be, and his whole interactions as a family man are just hysterical. And bringing in Glen, well, I don't like the look of the puppet per se, I thought was a cool concept. I don't want to see him again, but it was good for just like a one-off movie. You know, I know they're gonna try and get a little more serious with Cult of Chucky, but one day I hope we get a Seed 2. So I'm gonna give this 4 turkey basters out of 5.
Seed of Chucky is a fun film. If you haven't seen any of the other Child's Plays, it doesn't matter because it is almost like a standalone in itself. You probably should watch Bride to see what's going on between Chucky and Tiffany, but put that all aside, and this story does stand out all on its own. I really enjoyed all the characters. I thought it was well shot. My only issue is I kind of wanted more kills. I figured if this is a Chucky movie, we should be getting a lot more kills than just a couple, especially because when we do get kills, they are of top quality. The humor is absolutely hilarious in this film. It's definitely different from the other Child's Play movies, but it's not different in a bad way. It's an enjoyable film, and I think everyone should go check this out. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 4 peeing your pants out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.